Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and today I'm joined by TheGinna Gaming, and we're going to be doing a quick review for Tank Mechanic Simulator on the Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles. Now, this was released on the 19th of the 5th, 2021, and it was developed by Console Labs and published by Playway. And Console Labs have been really great in giving us a copy, or two actually, for this review. So, big thank you to them for providing the games that we've been able to have a play of. And yeah, we'll jump straight in. I've already done a sort of first impressions video, which was a pretty sort of a lot more in depth than we're going to discuss here. So if you want to watch some sort of extended just play and stuff like that, check the channel out for that. It's already on there. But we're just going to get down to the nitty and gritty here. So do you want to get us started? What did you think of Tank Mechanic Simulator then, good sir?
So, as always, thanks for having me on. Is To be honest, these type of games are not normally the ones I go to. I jumped in and gave it a try. Obviously, you nicely gave me a review code to run through with you and join you on here. It's very detailed. That's one thing I'll give it. There's a few things I like about it, especially in terms of it's very picky in that you have to do each and every little thing. It's not just a game where you hold X and then that repairs all the vehicle for you. You have to go and find each bit by each bit. And one thing I really appreciate is the old schoolness of it, where you have to go over to the big old tower computer with the CRT monitor and go and check your emails and refresh and go to the right store to buy the right things. I really like that. I think, yeah, they've quite nailed it. It's like set. It's not set in the modern day. It seems like it's set slightly a bit further back, maybe 90s vibe, and they've stuck to it, and I quite like that.
Yeah, and I like that you had to walk around the actual. I'm trying to think of what the best way to put it is, like the garage you're in, and
Yeah,
you have to find the correct items to use. Like I was playing with my son a bit because he loves cars and stuff like that. I mean, he's only a little, so he was only helping really. He wasn't really like in depth with it and stuff. But we were walking around. I was like picking up random tools and trying to figure out what everything did because I sort of went in blind. I mean, I'm like you. I don't go for these games outright myself. I don't have the time and the patience most of the time to. I wouldn't pick it up like straight
yeah,
away. But there's a lot of these sort of simulator games out there. There's like Car Mechanic and stuff like that. So I was like, tanks sounds cool. You get to drive tanks around as well when you fix them and stuff on a shooting range and that. And I thought, yeah, let's do it. That sounds ace. So I had the rust gun out and I'm just like smoothing it all down. And I'm spray painting away. You spend ages doing it, and it sort of chucks you in. Like the first couple are quite easy, like, oh, this isn't that bad,
yeah,
and then suddenly you're like, right, let's get in depth now, and you sort of got to do everything, and you can only take certain bits off after you've done other bits, and then trying to remember
yeah.
what order it is to put them back in, and then you have to buy things on, like you literally have like an old school like order form, you have to buy all the items on and stuff. It's cool, like I say, and if you're into your tanks, they're all accurate as accurate as can be based on historical data. There's tons of them as well. I mean, I couldn't tell you all the names of the tanks, but there is a massive amount of them in there, which I thought was really good for those sort of enthusiasts that like the sort of historical accuracy of it all. So I can't
That's what
complain on that.
surprised me about it was just how many tanks there were and how many bits to each tank. It's not like some games you get 4 or 5 and then it's little microtransactions to try and get more out of you. It's just a huge list of tanks.
Yeah,
And like you said, you do one or two and it's like, oh, replace an exhaust. Here's a covering. And then all of a sudden a tank turns up and the whole back end is missing. And you're like, oh, right, okay, this is going to be a
yeah.
bit more work. And I found myself out in a field with my metal detector looking for a tank part for the best part of 20, 30 minutes, trying to find it. And I just wouldn't give up till I found this little bit in the dirt. And yeah, it's you don't get that in other games, I suppose.
No, I got totally lost with that. The metal detector section. I think I just didn't read something because I was walking the opposite direction for about half an
Yeah,
hour. I was looking everywhere. Turns out it
there's a
was behind
a
me in a little.
circle.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. So and then I
I
got in
drove
that
past it.
circle. I went round and I found some binoculars. I'm like, is that it? I've come all the way for this. And then the next minute I found an armored people carrier, like a full one, and you have to like wash it out, dig it out, and everything, and then get like a truck to come and carry it away. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's very in depth.
Yeah,
And then when you fixed them up, you can actually drive them around and stuff. And you can even set up your own museum. I didn't get super in depth into that, but you can literally make a museum with all your like completed parts and like all your tanks in and stuff. And I thought that was cool. You can either sell them, or you can, like I say, present them in sort of like a fancy garage.
yeah. Like the game itself is not a game that I would sit there and play for hours and hours on end. One thing I will say in its benefit is they gave us this key to try out at a time when the Ascent, Art of Rally, Flight Simulator, basically just so many games dropped at once. And I've found myself coming back and chucking this game on for a quick 20, 30 minutes and mess around with it, which shows that it's got that hook that brings you back. There's so many other games that have launched at the same time, and I keep coming back to play this one amongst them. So yeah, that's good for the game. Considering this isn't the type of genre I normally go for as well,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's definitely a positive.
Yeah, you can just jump in and do like one mission at a time, kind of like one job, and
Yeah,
they take like 20 minutes each. But like I say, yeah, it's so in depth. You can even go inside and do the interior as well. And I'm like, Jesus, it's never stopping this. I'm like, I'm picking every bit out, I'm rewiring, I'm getting parts replaced and repaired. It's really cool. Like I say, it makes me want to try like their other games, their other simulator
yeah.
games. And
The car mechanic one, definitely.
yeah, I've had my eye on that for a while, and I'm like, will I enjoy that or not? But if you can drive it around afterwards and have a little play, it's always good. So yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say, I wish it had like proper multiplayer, so you could like both work on it at the same time to sort of speed it up a little bit. Like one of you could be
Yeah,
blasting the sand off, and one of you could be painting it and stuff like that. But this wasn't what it was designed for. It was originally a PC game. It's now been ported over to consoles. I understand that. It's even getting a VR port, I believe. It's either out or it's coming out soon, which would work
that'll be
really
great.
well because you could get
Yeah,
really in with the tools and stuff. So I sort of stumbled upon that when I was looking at it earlier. Now, this is available now, like I say, it is out on Xbox One. It does work on Xbox Series X and S via backwards compatibility, and it is priced in the UK at £16.74, which isn't a huge amount for an indie simulator game. You're probably going to get a lot more time in this if this is your sort of like your cup of tea. This is your sort of genre of game. Then a lot of other games. I think for simulators, it's got quite a lot of depth to it, and you could
yeah,
sink 20, 30, 40 hours into this in a blink of an eye by just playing. And I don't think that would even get you through all of the tanks. Just the list is immense. I mean, if you are into your tanks, just go on the Xbox store and it lists a ton of them off. So there's tanks, armored vehicles, and a self-propelled gun as well. It's not just tanks. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a big in-depth list. I'm really glad I got to play it. Like I say, I'll probably put a lot more time into it in the future, but it has come out. Or like we were given the code to do the review at a really bad time for because there's so much else out at the moment. But like as you say, the fact that you've gone and played it and it's of
yeah,
interest, it really sort of shows that it is pretty. What's the word? It's pretty polished, all said and done. I found very few bugs, very few issues with it. I think the only issue I would say is the main standout is load times still seem quite long, but that could be
yeah,
because it's not an
definitely.
enhanced port. It is just an OG Xbox One version of the game. If they ever, I don't think they ever will, but it's not harnessing like the Series X upgraded speeds and powers,
Yeah.
basically. Um,
You can tell as well it's originally a PC game that's come across the console. It's got that feel about it with the menus and the
yeah,
movement. But if you're not a PC player like me, you play purely on console, then yeah, like your strategy and your kind of simulation games, then you're straight in with this one because there's loads on there. Like there's too much stuff, if anything.
yeah, you can't.
This is completely looking through it is daunting. You're like, oh my god, there's a lot of stuff to do here.
Yeah, it does hit you as well. Like I say, if you're a newcomer to this genre, bear with it. It will hit you like a ton of bricks right at the beginning. You do a couple, and then suddenly your emails are flooded. You're like, how do I afford all this? And you're out on the site digging things up and looking for things, and you're like, what the hell am I going to do? But you just got to work through it and just keep like chipping away at it, and eventually it all sorts of comes together. And then you end up with enough money to not worry about a lot of things. Once you've done a few contracts, the sort of money flows, and you can buy what you want basically to upgrade things. So makes it a lot easier. But like I say, it's not my type of like game I would go for outright, but I've had a really good time with it so far. I'll probably jump back on it again soon, around all the other games that are coming out. My son really enjoys it. Like I say, he's only 6, but he likes looking at all the tanks and pulling all the pieces off and looking inside and going around with all the guns, clearing the stuff off the sides and the spray and stuff. So it's kept him quite entertained. So I cannot complain about that. But like I say, yeah, I'm highly surprised at how good it actually was compared to what I was going
Yeah.
in thinking.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I've seen these type of games before. They've never really appealed to me. Um, and now I've played it. I've gone back a few times. Actually, quite enjoy it. It's an easy play. I think that's the best thing about it. Like you said, you can just do one mission at a time. Go in, fix up a tank, ship it out, and then switch it off.
Yeah,
Nice
exactly.
and easy.
Exactly. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's out now, Tank Mechanic Simulator. If you haven't got an Xbox, it's on pretty much everything at the moment. It's on PC. It's coming to VR if it's not out already. And yeah, just give it a go, have a try, and let us know what you think in the comments. Big thank you to you for joining me today. It's always nice to have someone else on with the reviews. I think it's nice to hear other people's thoughts than just my own.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. And if you guys have liked the video, please give us a little like, a subscribe. We are inching ever so close to 400 subscribers on YouTube. We'll do something fancy when we hit 400. General dance. We'll get Fabio to do something on the podcast. Who knows? But like I say, give us a like, hit that subscribe button. We do Monday to Friday. We're doing review and like first impression videos every day of the week. But other than that, thank you for checking us out, checking out this game, and thank you, mate, for coming on again. As always, it's always a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks again. And everyone who watches it, thanks for watching.
See you later, guys.